So you did shake his hand with a condom full of blood on your hand?
It was on this hand.
Oh, okay.
Did you notice? Obviously, games were like way exciting this week. No, but the stuff with the Emmys.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
yeah.
15 nominations for the Netflix shows because, I mean, yeah, we watch them on our television sets.
Right.
But they're not televised.
Yeah, they're all done at once, which is kind of cool. I think it's a great shakeup for the television industry because if you remember in 1999 when The Sopranos was nominated for the first time, everyone was going, "Oh my God,
it's HBO."
Cable.
Because before that, they had the Cable Ace Awards.
Yes. Oh.
Because I mean, who doesn't want to have a Cable Ace Award? It's like, hey, you over here in the segregated area. It's like the concentration camp, cleaner of the year.
Yeah.
Award.
Yeah.
So they came in, changed the industry within 15 years, and now Netflix is doing this with their own original programming, and Amazon is doing. They have 2 shows that they're working on, Alpha House and Betas.
I mean, as time goes on, I expect to see that from Hulu, from Crackle and Franklin. I don't know what all the other
Franklin,
are.
yes. I love the original programming on Franklin. There's that great show, Josh. And then they have the kid show, Emily.
Yeah.
It's a really good one. I like that. Emily gets into so many crazy adventures.
Yeah, I like that time she did the stuff.
Oh, with Todd.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was good.
That was
I
my
don't
favorite
know what
one.
you guys are talking about.
I mean, it's a sensible way of distributing content. It's like the whole conceit. And it's interesting. Ever since I started working here, it's like, there's certain rules that were predicated by television, and I think we sometimes try to carry them over just to give the essence of television, but they really are rules that are not necessitated by the platform, like timing, how long something is, when it goes up, all those kind of matters. And I think like dumping a 13 episode show all at once really is like the epitome of that.
No,
I really like doing that. I mean, I don't watch a ton of stuff on TV as it's airing. I typically let a show end and then go back and watch it.
Yeah.
But having a week-long break between every episode, it's like you forget what happens almost.
And there is like, if it's a really good show, that sense of desire to see, it's like, like say Breaking Bad. I mean, I watched the first 3 seasons on DVD, and yes, there were times when I'm like, I need to stop. This is a little much. Yeah. But, when I finally started watching the actual broadcast of it, it's like, no, come on.
I can see why they do that because it keeps you interested for longer. That's why I'm sort of surprised that Netflix didn't do that because like somebody could just sign up for Netflix, watch all the episodes in 3 days, and then cancel their subscription.
Yeah, they could do that, but then Netflix is also, they're adding more original programming every month to kind of keep people in there.
There's a reason to stay on.
There is, what's the new one? Orange is the New Black?
Yeah.
Is the other one.
I think in that sense, it's like a World of Warcraft model. Yes, there are probably some people that are going to cancel their subscription, but there's also going to be a lot of those people that just stop playing and don't feel like taking the effort to stop paying, $10 a month or whatever it is.
Right. I mean, I wish there were certain games, much like Arrested Development. The season started off very, very slow, and
yes, it did.
Yeah, and so I was sitting there going, when is this going to get better? And it did around the Job, which was episode 7. I wish someone said skip the first 6. Go to episode 7 and then begin from there.
Also, it was I'm blanking on the name of the creator of it.
Mitch Hurwitz?
Yeah. He kind of said, don't watch this back to back. It's not designed that way. And that part is interesting to me because we do have to sort of look at how we design, structure, and like what the rhythm is for this type of programming because if you have all the episodes there, you need to assume that someone is going to watch them back to back.
Yeah.
And that you're not going to have that week in between, which sometimes benefits a show in other situations.
Right. But I also wish something like, there are certain games that we play where we don't need the first 3 acts of a game.
Yeah.
If you could, in this new model, if you could do the Netflix model where here's, downloadable games are, going to be the future. That's the big model for that PS4 and Xbox One are both pushing. If there was a way where we could have these huge games where, it'll never happen, but the creators kind of know, the first 3 acts are bullshit. Okay, well, let's skip them. Okay, if you had a Zelda game,
nobody would be willing to admit that about their own game.
If Nintendo came out and said with their new Zelda game, if you download it, you have the option for a different price to just start downloading after the tutorial. Because I've played every Zelda. I don't
but there's also, take the flip of that. Like, let's say Last of Us. Mm-hmm. You can download the first chapter. If you don't like it, there. You spent $3 or whatever.
Right.
But then, you can buy into more, you can buy into more, you can buy into more. I mean, that's such a perfectly narrative game. Yeah. That's all linear in its story that it makes it easy. Mm-hmm. But I mean, that's a way to get away from the $60 price tag as an absolute. But
that's why I love what The Walking Dead has done for like episodic content, and I guess Telltale in general, because they did have episodic games before The Walking Dead. Yeah, but like I just love that. There is a long stretch of period though between those episodes, which, I mean, I didn't play them all until after they had all come out.
Right.
Which is how I feel like it should be played, because again, you do forget a lot of stuff in 3 months.
I was so sad. The benefit of the gab in Walking Dead is I wasn't going to my wife where it hold me.
Yeah.
I'm scared.
You were probably still doing that anyway, to be honest.
But in the case of like Telltale, I think it's also because they're still working on the next episode. Mm-hmm. I mean, I like the idea of like with the Netflix model, they're done. Yeah. Like there's no mystery. You know what you're getting. There's a certainty. I mean, I think we still are in this game. Remember Sid episodes?
Yeah.
I mean, no one was yearning for episode 2, mm-hmm. but you're getting engaged. You're putting down your money with the sense that there's going to be future content, and it's still a question mark if that's going to happen. I think that's the game industry needs to stop that kind of uncertain relationship with their audience. Make the game, chop it up into pieces, sell it as a whole, sell it as its parts.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I mean, I would like to. There are certain parts of The Walking Dead. There are certain episodes that I would have skipped. I would have.
But you wouldn't have known that until after you played them.
After I played it, but while I was playing it, I halfway through, I'm just going, just get to the end.
Yeah.
I don't care.
Okay, this is the part where everyone's angry at me.
Yeah. Because
here's the interesting part.
Because if they do chop it up into episodic content like that, where you can download, there are going to be people who sit down, much like there were with the people who watched Arrested Development and marathoned it. There are going to be the people who say, this one is boring, this one didn't need to be there.
But in Walking Dead, I don't want to be specific to that, but because the decisions you make flood into that, and that is one wonderful thing that games do, and as a business model, that's a good way to keep someone engaged. It's like, oh, I've done this, what does this mean?
That is a very ADD model, though. Like, I feel like it sort of trivializes a lot of, like, especially for like The Last of Us, for instance, which is a very story-driven game. I feel like being able to skip certain chapters just because they're boring would sort of defeat the purpose.
Yeah, sometimes boring helps.
Not me. I'm one of those ADD people who's like, get to the point.
I'm totally that way too.
Shocking, right? Wow, shocking. I want immediate gratification of everything I do.
Yeah.
But I mean, I think we are looking at the potential for this to become a model. I mean, the idea of downloading games is not a novelty anymore. It's kind of it's actually there. And if Sony, Microsoft, EA, Ubisoft, and all those guys want people to start buying that way, like you have to incentivize it. You don't just say, hey, we're not going to give you a disc or you can't sell used games. It's, hey, you might like this way because you can get these certain advantages.
Yeah. Netflix is kind of like Steam now in reverse a little bit. Like Steam started off as a developer, or Valve started off as a developer, then Steam became like the platform, and Netflix is like the platform, and now they're basically a developer.
Yeah, it's especially going to change in the next couple of years because they are really ramping up development. They're actually been quoted as saying, we want to become HBO before HBO becomes Netflix.
Yeah.
And that's what they're doing.
Yeah.
They did it this year.
They had a good start.
All I can say is TV. Not gonna miss you.
It was nice knowing you.
Yeah, nice knowing you, TV.